On guys, it's Terrors, and today I'm back with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 video. And today I'm going to show you guys how to get the controller working completely fine on the MW3 Remastered client. So a lot of you were having issues with the PS5 controllers and Xbox controllers, so I wanted to make one video to basically bring all of these issues and give you solutions to all of them at the same time. I don't want to make it too complicated, so I'm going step by step. Now, keep in mind, my mic was kind of glitching a little bit in this recording, so it might be hard to hear me sometimes, but you can see everything I'm doing on the screen, and I still explained it pretty well based on what I've reviewed so far. So please enjoy the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let's get straight to it. I don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. Let's get these controllers working. Let's get you on the game. Alright, so the first controller we're going to be trying out is the most controversial controller. We're going to start out with the PlayStation one. This is the one that has the most issues. This is the one that most of you are having issues with. So we're going to address this first and foremost. Alright, so with the PS5 controller, I'm assuming most of you don't have Bluetooth on your computers. So I'm going to assume you're using the controller wired. So we're going to test it both wired and wireless just to see. I want to touch all bases here. I want to make sure I get all of these figured out for you guys. So let's go ahead and start with the PS5 controller with no external programs and just running the game. And we'll test it out and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Steam. I'm going to go to my Modern Warfare Remastered files and I'm going to launch HMW. Now, I'm launching it from the files, so this is not being launched through Steam UI or anything else. This is being launched straight from the files, so it should not be hooked into Steam when I launch it. So, I'm on the game. I'm going to go to controls and make sure I enable gamepad. Now that the gamepad is enabled, as you can see, I'm moving the controller and nothing's happening. There is nothing happening with my controller that is connected on. Now that we've confirmed that the PS5 controller straight up doesn't work, we're going to try some workarounds. And we're going to make sure we touch all bases here. So now that I've confirmed that the PS5 controller doesn't work natively, I'm going to close the game and we're going to try some fixes. Alright, so now that we've confirmed that, our first method would be to add the game to Steam as a non-Steam game and use Steam's own controller interface with the game and assume that works. So what I would do is I'll go to add a game, add a non-Steam game, and then I will go to the directory of Modern Warfare Remastered and add the HMW exe. For whatever reason, mine is taking forever to load because I got a lot of shit on my PC. So I'm going to just copy the URL from here and paste it there. Alright, so guys, as you can see, I have the HMW mod exe here. I pasted a directory. I'm going to just check that off and click add selected programs. Now we're going to test launching the game using the controller with the Steam interface. I launched in and the first thing it says is that I don't have a gamepad attached. I'm going to click no and try to use the controller, and once again the controller is not working, so I can confirm Steam natively is not picking up the PS5 controller. Let's see if we can do some tweaks and figure this out. So at this point, I'm going to click the little controller icon on Steam and we're going to click enable Steam input. And we're going to test there. We're going to try this default layout and close that and relaunch the game. So I relaunched the game after tweaking that Steam setting, that one Steam setting, and now it's picking up my PS5 controller. No external software required whatsoever. So now I'm going to go into a firing range and test to see if this works. Yeah, we're in. That's literally it. It's picking up my controller now. PS5 controller natively. And how this works is basically Steam is translating the PS5 controller's inputs as Xbox controller inputs. And because it's doing that, it works perfectly fucking fine. So there we go. That's one problem knocked out of the park. This is PS5 controller wired into the computer using Steam launcher and turning on the gamepad configuration. And now the PS5 controller is working beautifully. No issues whatsoever. So we knocked out that issue using Steam. Now, let's say you don't like seeing the Xbox inputs for the PlayStation inputs. Let's say you want to use PlayStation inputs. You want to see PlayStation buttons on your screen. Okay, let's try to fix that. So in this situation, I'll be using an external program called DS4 Windows. Okay, so I've configured my PlayStation 5 controller to be emulated and show up as a PS4 controller, and we're going to see if this works. So I'm going to launch it from the files again and not Steam and see if that fixes the issue. Alright, so emulating my PS5 controller as a PS4 controller using DS4 Windows, my game is still working. Without using Steam, so let's press options for the firing range. See how it shows the PlayStation inputs on the bottom of the screen now. Okay. Seems to work just fine. Does it? It doesn't feel as good as the Steam integration though, which is weird. I don't know if it's just my DS4 Windows settings, but this feels a little worse. I don't know how to explain it. This feels a little like less precise as the Steam integration. So if you guys are having weird controller issues, this might be the reason actually. It might be actually better to just use the Steam input and no external programs. It could be a placebo effect, but to me it doesn't feel as good. But then again, I don't play on controllers, so I can't really, But yes, that. So if you wanted to get the PlayStation inputs on the screen I just showed you, use DS4 Windows, emulate it as a PS4 controller, and there it is. It's working. It's working. I can shoot, I can aim, I can reload, I can switch guns, I can throw grenades. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so I think I've solved pretty much the issue with wired PlayStation controllers so far. Now we're going to test out doing this with a wireless controller. I'm going to connect my PS5 controller to my PC via Bluetooth, and we're going to try to do the same thing and see if that works. So I'm going to go to my PC settings, I'm going to go to Bluetooth, and I'm going to connect my controller. So I'm going to disconnect it from the wire, hold these 3 buttons on the controller right here, so that it does a little flash. I don't know if you can see it, it's flashing. And I'm going to sync it to my computer now. Turn on Bluetooth, add device, and my PS5 controller will come up. Then it should just connect. There we are, we're connected. Now my PC picked it up. I'm going to turn off DS4 Windows real quick. And now I'm going to relaunch it with no external programs. Okay, so once again, controller's connected, controller's on, but no inputs registered on the game whatsoever. So here you are, once again in a situation where you have to use either DS4 Windows or Steam input. We're going to test Steam input first. So I'm going to go to Steam, make sure Steam input is on, and I'm going to just launch it from Steam. All right, so once again, there was no prompt at all for the controller, which means it's working. Yep, there it is. Controller's wirelessly connected. I'm pressing buttons and it's moving. We're in. Once again, I'm going to test my classes. I'm going to go to firing range, press options, and this feels great. It feels better than DS4 Windows. Here we are. I'm playing again wirelessly. Controller's connected. And we're on. No fake. No video magic. I'm just playing the game. Wireless controller. So that's confirmed working. So now we're going to test again with no Steam input and using DS4 Windows. I'm going to launch DS4 Windows once again. I'm going to remind you guys once again to emulate it. Go to Other and emulate it as a DS4 controller to make the input show up as PlayStation. Apply, save. And then all you have to do at that point is just launch the game. You can launch it. I would recommend launching it through File Explorer because I think it would mess up if you launch it through Steam. So there was no prompt, which means it's working. I see PlayStation inputs. Controller's wirelessly connected, and we're playing the game. So we're gonna test firing range one more time, and here we are. Once again, I don't think it feels as good as the Steam input version, but it works. Hey man, I want PlayStation inputs. It's the cost. Now, there's probably a way to get it to feel better if you mess with the DS4 settings and whatnot, but I don't really use controllers like that. So if you want to go and fiddle with the settings, get the right dead zones and whatnot, you can do that on your own. You can do anything with DS4 Windows to get it right. But if you want to just do it hassle-free, just use the Steam input version and it will work just fine. But there we go. That pretty much solves all the PS5 controller issues. So hopefully I helped you with that. Hopefully. I really hope I did, because I think I touched every possibility I could here. I'm going to break it down one more time. So by default, PS5 controllers are not natively supported by this game. If you wanted to recognize your controller, you can either use the Steam input method or the DS4 Windows method. Don't use both at the same time. Use one or the other. That's it. That's pretty simple, and it works both wirelessly and wired. You just see me test it out in all with different ways. You just see me test it. All right, so the next controller we're moving on to is the Xbox controller. Now, this controller specifically, the only Xbox controller I have laying around is this one, and it's wired only, so I don't know if this is going to be the same steps as the PlayStation version, but honestly, it should be a lot easier with the Xbox one because Xbox controllers are basically natively supported by pretty much every game on PC. So let's get to this. If you're using an Xbox controller, you, my friend, you're in luck because the game automatically supports this, nothing needed. So plug it in, just like this, launch the game from File Explorer. You don't need to use Steam input if you're using an Xbox controller because it's an Xbox controller. So I plugged it in, nothing. No issues whatsoever. Just make sure you have gamepad enabled. Please make sure you have it enabled before you say it doesn't work. Make sure it's enabled. You're good to go. Xbox controllers seem to work absolutely fine. So if you were having an issue with Xbox controller, make sure you're not launching it through Steam and make sure you're just launching it through the File Explorer. If you do launch it through Steam, make sure you have Steam input disabled. If you have a really weird off-brand Xbox controller that the system just doesn't pick up whatsoever, then in that case, you would use Steam input. But this one seems to be pretty well supported by every game. So I wouldn't never have to use any external software or even Steam input to use this controller. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to leave a link to this controller and my default PS5 controller just in case you're interested in seeing exactly which controllers I was using in this video. But yeah guys, here you are, the controller guide. This is pretty much all I have to say about it. So to break it down in layman's terms, Xbox controllers are natively supported. You don't need any external software. And PlayStation controllers, you will need to use either Steam input or DS for Windows. One or the other, they both work. Just not both at the same time. But yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed my hopefully short controller guide on MWR, because you guys were asking me. I hope I was able to fix your issues. I really do. If not, you can just leave a comment and I'll see if I can help you. I'm not God. I don't have the answers to every question, but I can try my best to help. I just want you guys to get on the game and enjoy the game. Even if you're on a controller. I have nothing against you guys. I love my mouse and keyboard gang. I love them all. But controller guys, you guys deserve to have fun on this game too, considering you all played the original games on these controllers. But yeah guys, leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, pop notification, and sub if you want more content. I'm not going to make just only Call of Duty videos, so I'm going to be making tutorials on all types of things. I want to do a tutorial for PS2 emulation, PS3 emulation, Xbox emulation, PSP emulation. I want to do a bunch of different videos. So please leave a like, stay tuned if you want to see that stuff, and have a great day.